news. Day one of Brics Summit in Cape Town witnessed a show of strength by foreign ministers of South Africa, Brazil, Russia as well as India. The Brics foreign ministers asserted their bloc's ambition to rival Western powers, but the summit was overshadowed by Russian President Vladimir Putin's arrest. Interestingly, as a member of the International Criminal Court, South Africa would theoretically be required to arrest Putin as a warrant against him for unleashing a full-scale invasion on Ukraine. Now, putting the speculations to rest, South Africa's foreign minister said the next BRICS summit will be held in Johannesburg, which will be attended by the heads of state.
Looking at institutional development of BRICS or expansion, we have concluded that we haven't as yet got what we believe is a useful document that we could place before the heads of state. So more work will need to be done on this matter. It is still to be processed, and once we have a document that we believe offers clear guidance, we will then take that to the summit in August.
Different structure. It's a new organization based on the principles of equality, mutual respect, consensus, non-interference, and strict adherence to the United Nations Charter, to all its principles in their interlinkages. It is not for BRICS, to pick and choose something which you like in the Charter for this particular situation and then to do the opposite for another situation.
It is therefore imperative that BRICS members demonstrate sincerity in regard to reforming global decision-making, including that of the UN Security Council. Excellencies, at the heart of the problems we face is economic concentration that leaves too many nations of too few.
Brazil is also fully committed to strengthening our engagement with BRICS, which is an indispensable mechanism for building a multipolar world order that reflects the voices and needs of developing countries.
So let's now bring in our colleague Abhishek also, who's standing by to try and understand what the foreign ministers plan to achieve as far as the summit is concerned, and what is this entire controversy as far as arrest of Vladimir Putin is concerned. Abhishek, first I want to understand what is the agenda as far as the summit is concerned.
So the agenda is how to enhance the importance of BRICS at a time when the world is increasingly becoming isolated. Remember, BRICS is the only multilateral organization that is still very much intact with the Russian side. In fact, no countries in the grouping of BRICS has openly condemned Russian action. So this is a kind of a huge relief from Russian side. So clearly Russia wants to increase the importance of BRICS. There is an expansion also on agenda. Apparently 20 odd countries are trying to become full members of BRICS nations, and BRICS ever since the inclusion of South Africa in 2011 has not accepted any new membership for a very long time now. So clearly there is a much to discuss as to what should be the modality, what should be the new way or guidelines where new members could also be included. While BRICS wants to emerge as a platform, as a voice of Global South, it also wants to continue to be very focused in its approach on the global issues. Currently, BRICS has about 40% of world's population and about 1/4 of the global GDP as a share, and about 20% of the global trade happens among the BRICS nations. So clearly a very major economic and demographic platform is this multilateral organization. But at the same time, with the changing geopolitical realities, new memberships, inclusion is also a necessary demand that is coming from various countries. And China is also one of the founder member of BRICS, which is who is supporting this expansion of BRICS.
Abhishek, I also want to understand now, why is there this entire speculation as far as an arrest of Vladimir Putin is concerned, and what is the obligation that South Africa will have?
So South Africa has ratified and it is under the obligation of International Court of Justice, which has issued a warrant against Russian President Vladimir Putin. And in that case, if Putin happens to travel to any country which is under the obligation of International Court of criminal ICG. So that country will have the obligation to arrest any offender or any fugitive apparently declared by the International Court of Justice. So in that sense, if Vladimir Putin happens to visit South Africa, he would have been arrested. But now, as the practice has been, South Africa has given diplomatic immunity to all the person or all the individual who will be traveling to South Africa to attain and take part in BRICS nation. This is not something that should be, but it is a rather normal practice across the world that whenever there is some multilateral organization, when the leaders from across the world has to visit, so to allay any political or diplomatic fallout, these sort of diplomatic immunity is granted to other countries also. So we have seen, Russian ministers or Russian, senior leadership also traveling to USA, Iranian leadership traveling to USA in the past to attend UN summit, despite them being on the offender list of USA or International Criminal Court of Justice. So there have been instances in the past also, but this time also South Africa has declared a diplomatic immunity to anybody who is traveling to attend BRICS Nations Summit lower talks.
Okay, Abhishek, we'll have to leave that conversation